That's a good way to
Earth First was a creation of when Bill Turnage took over the Wilderness Society. He brought all his field reps together. And we used to get together every year and meet in some broken down food ranch and sleep on the floor in our sleeping bags and try to out-macho each other on how many thousands of miles. Oh, I drove 30,000 miles here. How many feet of beer cans do you have in the back of your Volkswagen bug? Oh, no, I got twice as much of that. Turnage came in and he had made Angel Adams $1 million and was strictly a business guy who didn't give a freaking hoot about protecting wild places. He mostly cared about out there on the Scottish moors playing golf, living the good life. And he imported his silk underwear from France and he would only drink Perrier water from somebody that wears silk underwear, that's okay. Package together, but we had this, it was sure sign of something was amiss, is when he basically had all the field reps come to Keystone Ski Area in Colorado, which was owned by the Turnage's good buddy who was a Purina dog chow executive. And we're kind of bristling getting in there. We had to sleep in a hotel.
Okay.
We had to wear, they had no sleeping bags for us. We had to sleep in sheets. It was totally foreign to any of us. And we had credit cards that for emergencies only. If we flew all our tires out or something like that doing field work. That's the only time we could use them, and we were trusted with that responsibility. And he brought us into this room, and he had us all turn in our credit cards. And we're kind of going, what WTF is going on here? And so then he starts reading us, a very soft sell riot act. If you're in a buckaroo, then you'd start, the hair on the back of your neck is starting to, I was looking for the next exit. And he has all of us write essays about what we think our relationship as field representatives for the Wilderness Society was with the headquarters. And a couple of us, Dave and myself in particular, I took a football analogy and talked about you get a quarterback. The quarterback is the person on the field, the day-to-day operations. The manager or the coach of the team is is working on the policy stuff, and they're all working together. But we don't want the plays called from the sidelines. We call our own plays. And if we got a problem, then we get a timeout and we go out on the field and huddle and figure that shit out. And he, Turnage is, getting all white-faced and getting pissed off. And we essentially were leaving the reservation, as he put it. So after all the field reps, the meeting was over, and he was trying to pick on a couple of us troublemakers or malcontents or knight errants or whatever we were. And this actually happened. Before he let us all go for the evening, he said that his goal as the head of the Wilderness Society was to raise his measly salary from $35,000 a year to $100,000 a year within the next 6 months. And we were all looking around the room kind of going, what the, we had thought he was going to say, we're going to lock up all the land or we're going to defend every acre of wild country. He didn't say a thing about it. And then he dismissed everybody and he asked me to stay.
which is not a lot of fun. And he took me aside and he said, you know, I look out and out at your field reps, and said, what I see is a room full of guys. And there was nothing wrong with being a guy back then, but he basically said, you're all wearing jeans. You're all wearing running shoes or cowboy boots. You're all wearing belts with big buckles. And you are all wearing flannel shirts or t-shirts and or down vests with, you know, all of the above. You all have somewhat long hair and facial hair, for God's sakes. And the kicker was, and he said, and you all have master's degrees from some podunk university from one place or another out in the West. And this is a guy who went to Harvard or Yale or whatever. I mean, Aldo Leopold went to Yale, so I hold nothing against Yale. And so...
Because he wanted to study with Pinchot.
You know, basically what he said was, here's the question for you. He said, either you guys are all clones or you're all rugged individualists. And I said, Bill, we sure as fuck ain't clones. And then I walked out. And that was the beginning of the end. I quit. Dave then turned to summarily shit-canned the entire field staff. Dave was one of the last that was still there. And then he left, and then we went off and did Thirst First. I mean, Thirst First. It was a very frustrating time when we were pushing harder for, this was during the roadless area review the second time around. And we wanted to protect as much as possible, which was exactly what Turnich's plan had saved. And we basically lost 95% of the staff that had been there the year before.
Wow.
And then we all went on to do other stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'll give Turnage credit for one thing. If you follow a flow chart of what happened after he got rid of the field staff, is you started seeing statewide grassroots wilderness advocacy organizations popping up in every state that had been shit canned in the Wilderness Society. I mean, so in a twisted way, Turnage is responsible for the progress that was made on the wilderness front by decentralizing and getting back out to grassroots, which we've been doing all the time before freaking Turnage showed up. Okay, where are our drummers? Do we still got some drummers? All still here?
Yeah.
But I'm sitting on his drum.
What you looking for?
A drummer.
I need you to drum.
Okay.
You're in front.
I'll just sit on the wall.
You know the chords to Born to Be Wild, or just wing it? Wing it. I'm gonna wing it. I don't know the chords either.
You already know.
But if Dave Foreman were here tonight, he'd want this song sung.
Okay.
When I was in the Hells Angels, I played it all the time. Banditos, no way.
Born to be wild. We gotta pick the right note.
I've got the lyrics in the house. You have to bring it out.
So we wrote this back in 2000. We need a backup here. Forgive me because I don't know the chord, but down. Back in 2000, there was a big conference in Denver, and Dave Foreman was just talking about Free Wild. That was in 2000. That was like 4 years ago.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he asked me to write a song about Free Wilder. When after he passed, I rewrote the words a little bit. But you got to use your imagination and get to the point where we all sing, Born to be wild.
Born to be wild. I've been thinking like a mountain. I've been thunderstruck by lightning. We're restoring old connections. Yeah, we're feeling wild today. From the Yukon to Yellowstone, wildlife needs their room to roam. From Montana down to Mexico, wildlife needs places to go. Born to be wild. Born to be wild. Well, the jaguars at our border, they're walking up a corridor. Enemy scaffold on the borderlands, a fact you need to understand. From Montana down to Mexico, wildlife needs the places to go. Where the moose have been making tracks and the wolf is coming back to the Adirondack. Born to be wild. Born to be wild. Mother Nature is a wonder. She's making fire and rain and thunder. The great spirit recreation, a brand new restoration. It's time to be heard and we'll really open new doors. The clarion call of heroes gone before. Some can live without wild things, but simply get the screw that up. The introduction to the St. County Almanac and Round River Essays. I believe Paul's own words were, some people can live without wild things, and others cannot. And he said, I am one who cannot. But we tried to steal somehow those words with them there. So it was time to be heard and really open new doors. Clarion call of heroes gone before. Some can live without wild things, but we simply cannot. We need to stand independent with everything we've got. Born to be wild. Born to be wild. From Yukon to Yellowstone, wildlife needs a room to roam. From Montana down to Mexico, wildlife needs the places to go. Take it down, born to be wild. Down, born to be wild. Born to be wild. Meow, 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 Bill Bray chorus and Dave Foreman, ladies and gentlemen.
X got songs. So maybe we know. All right, it's a good one.
It's Mark Graham. It's not any.
Go ahead. I'll be after you.
Yeah. And I only do acapella because I don't know how to play it. You are what you eat, and yours are pretty cheap. You let go of the chain, and you got yourself might find it with a little bit chicken.
I think it's on your report.
And then put Bruce with his teeth in the shotgun. He's a little right down there. I got a chain popper. My baby, he calls the line with a bunch of no more soul. That was walking or swimming or flying. But if it wasn't a bean sprout, he'd be no friend of mine. I don't like bean bean sprout, butter pork chop, sweet fine. Just throw it in the skillet and let the little old pork chop fry. Out here on the food chain, it's either diet or die or die. I'm working on the food chain and I'm looking for a bite to chew out here on the food chain. And I'm telling you boys, it's true. That's right. Working on the food chain. The chains are working on you.
Go ahead, Ray.
All right, this is a song for our hosts, Bob and Susie. Doesn't Susie own this place?
Yeah. But don't fall into that.
Okay, Keith, it's not Bob and Susie.
Sorry, just a record.
Yeah, okay, it kind of goes like this, but it's usually picked, so I'll see if I can strum there. Firsters, back together at last. Thanks, Mom, Linda. Oh, hosting success in our laps. Celebrating all that generations from so many actions past. First, fought for our land, protecting wild things, back together again. These days are returning, man. Jump around you, get back to the wilderness. Okay, it's time. One more place that we'd like big. One more place that we'd like to see feel the cheers going out while we're friends sing my man so fine. When I die, Lord, bury me deep out on the desert where all that Andy sleeps, oh, where we can hear the coyotes in our mind to find a home. Now we're gonna beat first one again. First, come back together at last. Thanks, Paul, Linda. For hosting success at last. We're celebrating that generations will walk free from so many hard actions.
That's some fast songwriting, kid. That's impressive.
I didn't exactly pick up the tune, you know. Elizabeth Cotton, many thanks to you. And, Bob and Susie, very great.
I had to spend like 10 minutes relearning the song from 30 years ago, so I need to play it after spending all that.
Oh, yeah, of course. This is a great place to practice.
Kelly.
Greg Keehler song, and he must have been from my hometown. This is what it was like.
Quartzsite?
No, Carlsbad, New Mexico. For a touch of pure romance, let's do some modern problems dancing 2 by 2 to the drive-in show. And if your gal don't take exception, don't use any contraception. Tell her that you'll die, you love her so. You knock her up, make her your bride, and then you buy her a double wide. Get a job in an oil boom and on a couple extra rooms, you're fine just as high as you can fly. Partner right, right left hand, make all kinds of crazy plans. You're on your way to limited sky. Now watch that oil boom go bust and all your dreams turn into dust. Spend all you got left out drinking booze. Cheat on your wife and get a sweetie with a romp that's nice and meaty. Hell, you don't care if you win or lose. You lose your job, you lose your house, you lose your car, you lose your spouse. Meet your sweetie and promenade get AIDS and between the bed you go. Beat your wife on that down and slap your kids with the back of your hand. Get divorced and then oh, you always just said no. Your sweetie says she's stealing dope, so pretty soon you're snorting God knows what. It makes you strong, it makes you laugh, it cuts your synapses in half. Instead of saying no, you ask how much. You promenade and you swing, and then you warm a cocaine ring. Set up a tail down in Miami, get caught in the double whammy with a toe. She decided you're a drag, so she leaves you holding the bag you pulled together for many years or so. So my friend, don't make exceptions and you modern problems dead. So be careful how you don't see double. Don't swing when you should promenade. Don't Alabama laugh and don't sashay. I've done that dance, so taller than I should know.
In my personal opinion, you relearning that song was the best 10 minutes you ever spent in your life.
Oh.
I'm glad you took that 10 minutes.
I want to play a song that you'll recognize rather than just one of mine that no one will recognize.
I'm having a spasm is a problem here. I could be back in every now and then that happens. My fingers will just take, they just like,
More pickle juice.
pickle juice.
That'll fix it.
It's a thing.
It is a thing.
Trust me, I'm a biologist.
I never learned
Sometimes
this.
That line never works, by the way.
Never worked for me. It worked for me once. It worked for me once.
But it's the MPS, right?
That was obviously about Abilene, Kansas.
Right, right. Yeah, totally different. Not Texas.
Yeah, the other one.
I've been to
I
both.
was thinking that.
Okay, this is an ode to a famous Texas Earth Firster named Buggus Cargus.
Oh, Buggus. Yeah.
Buggus.
I remember Buggus.
I remember Buggus. Yes. Buggus was often without clothing. It's not a brag. It's not wasn't necessarily a good thing. But he would be leaping over the campfire and then
The moon rose in the west.
but this is a true story about a successful action in these Texas woods by East Texas Earth Firsters. I wish they could be here today. Go. It's a pattern to this song you might pick up on. So easy on the percussion until you get the idea. Okay? This is the story of Buggers and the Beast. Buggers and the Beast. Buggers and the Beast. This is the story of Buggers and the Beast. The battle in the piney, piney woods. Buggers was a man who fought for the trees. Fought for the trees. Fought for the trees. Buggers was a man who fought for the trees. The battle in the piney, piney woods. Freddy's hit the forest with a killer Godzilla. Killer Godzilla. Killer Godzilla. Freddy's hit the forest with a killer Godzilla. Battle in the piney, piney woods. The Buggers jumped up on the killer Godzilla. Killer Godzilla. Killer Godzilla. He locked his neck. He was a very brave fella. The battle in the piney, piney woods. Down on the ground, the six earth first, six earth first, six earth first. Down on the ground, the six earth first. The battle, piney, piney. That's antisocial Barbara, antisocial Crawford. They were calling them all antisocial. Flying through the trees, jumping James Jackson, jumping James Jackson, jumping James Jackson. Flying through the trees, jumping James Jackson, battle in the piney, piney woods. Well, they hauled off the tail, eight earth firsters, eight earth firsters, eight earth firsters. Hauled off the tail, eight earth firsters in the battle in the piney, piney woods. The Buggers spent the night on the killer Godzilla, killer Godzilla. Killer Godzilla, under his head he had a caterpillar pillar in the battle. Well, the stop order came from the state attorney general, the state attorney general, the state attorney general. The stop order came from the state attorney general. Battle in the piney, piney woods. Now, Buggers is fighting the clear cuts in heaven. Clear cuts in heaven, clear cuts in heaven. Back east Texas, spirit keeps living. The battle in the piney, piney woods. Yeah, this is the story. Buggers and the Beast. Buggers and the Beast. Buggers and the Beast. This is the story. Buggers and the Beast in the battle in the piney, piney woods.
Yeah.
I left out a chapter or two. He didn't die that night. Later on in Hawaii, a few years later, but it was a success that they had hit that action. Delayed the cut the huge bulldozers action, the killer Godzilla, and still stopped until a stop order came, injunction came from the Capitol.
You know, Jumpin' James went to the Kamiosis. And he was one of the people locked down with the Campfire Circle, which was otherwise 6 women. They locked down on this yarder. And the incredible Valerie Wade.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this hand over hand to the top of the pole of the yarder, and then dropped this banner down that said, "From Heritage to Sawdust." Incredible kick-ass action. And Jumpin' James, he was there, locking in the same way the rest of them. It's like, wow, I know him from the Bill Oliver song.
Well, and more.
This is a love song, and you'll know the sing-along part when we get to it. Fat and docile, big and dumb. They look so stupid, they aren't much fun. Cows aren't fun. They eat to grow, grow to die, die to be et at the hamburger fry. Cows well done. Nobody thunk it. Nobody knew. No one imagined the great cow food. Cows are one. He hid in the forest, read books with great zeal. He loved Che Guevara, a revolutionary zeal. Cows say tongue. He spoke about justice, but nobody stirred. He felt like an outcast, alone, in the herd. Cows all drum. He knew we must fight, escape or we'll die. Cows gathered around as the stakes were so high. Bad cow pun. But then he was captured, stuffed into a crate, loaded onto a truck, where he rode to his fate. Cows are bummed. He was a scrawny calf who looked rather woozy. No one suspected he was packing an Uzi. Cows with guns. They came with a needle to stick in his thigh. He kicked for the groin. He pissed in the rye. Cow well hung. Knocked over a tractor and ran for the door. 6 gallons of gas flowed out on the floor. Run, cows, run. He picked up a bullhorn and jumped up on the hay. We are free roving bovines. We run free today. We will fight for bovine freedom and hold our hearts high. We will run free with the buffalo or die. Cows with guns. That was surprisingly good. He crashed the gate in a great stampede, tipped over a milk truck, torched all the feed. Cows have fun. 60 police cars were piled in a heap, covered in cow pies, covered up deep. Much cow dung. Black smoke rising, darkening the day. 12 burning McDonald's.
Have it your way.
Have it your way. We will fight for bovine freedom and hold our hearts high. We will run free with the buffalo or die. Cows with guns. The president said, enough is enough. These uppity cattle, it's time to get tough. Cow dung flung. The newspapers bloated, folks sighed with relief. Tomorrow at noon, he would all be ground beef. Cows on buns. The cows were surrounded. They waited and prayed. They moved their last moves. They chewed their last hay. Cows outgunned. The order was given to turn cows to whoppers, enforced by the might of 10,000 coppers. But on the horizon, surrounding the shoppers, came the deafening roar of chickens in choppers. We will fight for all my freedom and hold our margins high. We will run free with the buffalo or die.
So good.
It's impossible to hate that song.
It's so good.
You wish you could.
I didn't want to, but I know if I wanted to, I could. But I don't want to. Takes them around the world. That song. It's a good one.
You know, AI, you can translate that to every language. Just saying, just saying.
Anybody know what the term whopper is? The Plains Indian name for elk. I like my whoppity juicy. I like the gnaw on their bones. Don't tell nobody, but I've made it past Cody. I'm walking home to Yellowstone. I'm such a bad, whoa, baby. I'm chasing caribou. No, I'm chasing moose and mule deer too. And wolf, baby, look out, look out, look out, look out. I'm coming after you.
Yeah.
All right.
Bad wolf baby.
You the bad wolf.
You're a bad wolf. There's a Little Red Riding Hood. We could get really bad, start playing Wooly Bully or something.
Have it told salad. By the things
What's it now? Oh,
Dang you, nut.
That was enough of that.
I brought you a full-size guitar just in case you wanted one. Like,
You just
in case you lost that one in your pocket.
you missed Bad Wolf and then a quick venture into Wooly Bully.
Oh, man, he's going smaller than yours.
Okay. What went according he did right. What went according he did right. What went according he did right. Tear up all the countryside. What we're looking for. What we're looking for, black hole. What we're looking for, black hole. What we're looking for, black hole. Take my own heart and soul. Well, give me look. We're looking for oil and gas. Give me when I'm looking for oil and gas. Give me when I'm looking for oil and gas. Give me vodka, kiss my ass. This song was so versatile that when Dick Cheney became the energy guru and the overthrow spelled in Wyoming, it was easily interchangeable parts. Then you went looking for oil and gas. You went looking for oil and gas. Hey, we're looking for oil and gas. Joe, good old Dick, go kiss my ass.
Yeah.
Then it went downhill from there.
You spoke so fondly of Pinedale just a few hours ago.
Unless Peg's got some.
Oh, no.
Peg's got a Greg Koehler song. Oh, okay.
Well, I started it last night. I've got the rest of the words so I can finish it.
Okay.
I couldn't be cooler. I come from Missoula with a rope and a rig and a ride. I'm a heroin dealer and I drive a four-wheeler with a stereo speakers inside. My old lady Phoebe's out ripping off CBs from the rigs at the wagon wheel bar. In a Montana truck stop, it's a shit out of luck stop for a trucker who's driven too far. Do you know how to play it?
I used to, but it'd take me 10 minutes to figure it out again. Too long.
And there ain't no such thing as a Montana cowboy. There's all dead or they's fixin' to die. There ain't no such thing as a Montana cowboy because
Not a hockey ball.
what you think's a cowboy's most likely a plowboy. So you better not ask for a hand. Well, the plowboys ain't friendly and all the cowboys is Indians and the Indians just don't give a damn. Where are the sons of the Montana cowboy? They've all gone to ski the big sky. They're riding gondolas and eating granolas and looking for a piece of the pie. Last night I was deep in an uneasy sleep when I dreamed Crazy Horse had returned. He was running across the campgrounds of the KOA damp grounds where the last Winnebago was burned. And I woke with a fever just like Dennis Weaver as Chester before a gunfight. And I pulled my Tony Llamas up over my pajamas and stumbled out into the night. And there ain't no such thing as a Montana cowboy. There's all dead or they's fixin' to die. No, there ain't no such thing as a Montana cowboy because what you think's a cowboy is most likely a plowboy. So you better not ask for a hand. All them plowboys ain't friendly and all the cowboys is Indians and the Indians just don't give a damn. Happy
Yeah.
I love Bart Koehler. It was one of my heroes.
Great enough. And you're talking about strong women. Sunday afternoon, on the way home from fellowship, in love that belongs to me so long. Well, I'm looking up at a stranger looking down, says my Christian is dead. And I found a little love. I'm living you picked me up and dusted me off and gave me away to go on.
Now I'll never know just what happened that day, and it haunts me when I drive past that place. You found a light I thought I had lost and held it so soft to your face. You reached way down into that hole, through a world spinning out of control. You picked me up, dusted me off, and gave me a way to go on.
I heard Peg say spawn till you die.
I'll be ready.
What's that?
Your turn.
Standing in a river on the nation side of the on the last magical day in a napkin. Fishing like the color was purple, the natives would say that they were there spawn till they died. Spawn till you die, spawn till you die. Hear the scared way up in your eyes till you die. Spawn till you die. That's the basic purpose of life. Headed for home with my happy companions, the skimming over the water, gazing around at a paradise found. Eagles puffing stars, where the air is clear, bears are near, listen to all the love. When your life's in the hands of the weatherman, Joe's name big surprise. Spawn till you die, spawn till you die. It's the talking night and never so high till you die. Spawn till you die. That's the basic purpose of life. Everybody do the spawn. Spawn backwards. Hey, Ricky. Hi. Little bitty spawn. Backing up the plane, headed outside again, together laughing in to survive. Coming alone with a clear cut streaking at my own arrival. Weather was clear, music was cash, through the smell of feasting was bad. The freeway was jammed like a pointless there. People were moving like sand. Spawn till you die, spawn till you die. It's a joke, you must go in the rivers or high till you die. Spawn till you die. Get back, keep the truth is standing in a river of sand on the picture side of February. On the last magical day in the last night, wishing I'd come here to stay. Oh, yeah.
The Homer song? Okay. I was there when that song.
Yeah, started and ended.
I like it. That was a good one.
Thank you. I remember Melissa Crabtree. Remember Melissa Crabtree?
Totally. Yeah.
One of the highlights of my life was one night when Melissa Crabtree, after that song, declared, "That song has rules." Trying to like good.
Has rules.
Bill asked for this song.
You play it anyway?
Why do you blame all your songs on other people?
So instead I'll do some Johnny Cash. As the sun shines off the water, sandhill cranes are dancing in the field. It's high summer here in Homer, and the raspberries are giving a high yield. And I want to stay forever where God's garden still provides. And the changing tide's the only tide that matters in the vast Alaskan countryside. And we're driving out the east end in a car with crooked headlights after dark. There are 3 moose in the roadway, and the little one is bigger than the car. And I want to stay forever where God's garden still runs wide. And the changing tide's the only time that matters in the vast Alaskan countryside. As the boat pulls from the harbor to go fishing halibut at Barren Isle, he says, welcome to my office. And Captain Mike sits at the wheel and smiles. And I want to stay forever where God's garden still provides. And the changing tide's the only time that matters in the vast Alaskan countryside. Now the bar is full of tourists taking pictures of reluctant fishermen. They all come from where I come from, and we're living life large for one weekend. And I want to stay forever where God's garden still provides. And the changing tide's the only time that matters in the vast Alaskan countryside. Now the days are getting shorter, and the northern lights are winding through the sky. Soon I'm leaving for the city. For some reason I can't remember why. And I want to stay forever where God's garden still provides. And the changing tide's the only time that matters in the vast Alaskan countryside. And I want to stay forever where God's garden still runs wide. And the changing tide's the only time that matters in the vast Alaskan countryside.
Awesome.
That one. Thank you.
I don't have anything related. Can I do something stupid that's unrelated to
Absolutely.
the subject? Yeah, okay.
Hell yeah.
This song requires some explanation.
We may not be good at that.
I thought I'd write like a sad country song, you know, so you always start in a minor, you know, E minor and A minor and stuff like that. Sad country song. And then, you know, there's a great muse in the sky that people get these things come from and they connect with the universe and, you know, all the words just flow out. Well, you know, not all those entities you connect with are like, you know, really ones you want to connect with. Sometimes stuff comes out that you didn't really plan on, and oh well. I wrote it down. And the song's not intended to offend anybody, you know. Some parts might kind of seem like it, other than the occasional Russian. Well, sorry, Bill, but Texans.
Am I gonna have to move?
Well, you might have to move.
Cover up my license plate.
Yeah. So anyway, the broke down LA freeway blues, and I did break down on the LA freeway once.
Are they 10?
Well, the one coming from north to south, or right in front of Knott's Berry Farm. The tire wheel fell off my car.
Just one?
Yeah, just one. Took all the lanes to get off the road, though. Driving a new Ford truck one day, and I broke down just outside of LA. I was left standing in the hot blazing sun. After a while, a new Tesla stopped by. A pretty lady leaned out and said, "Hi, I'll call you a tow truck, but I ain't giving you no ride." Yes, and now you probably got the news. I got the broke down LA freeway blues. Things ain't getting much better as the day rolls on. Junkie tow truck rolls up alongside. He's a hairy, smelly, ugly attached guy with a Russian accent, sweat pouring down his sides. Looks right at me and sees my hat. He asks what part of Texas you been at. Guess he didn't notice the Nike sneakers on my feet. Whoa, whoa, baby, give me some good news. I got the broke down LA freeway blues. Please, somebody get me a ride home. Well, that tow truck ain't got no air conditioning. Well, it kinda smells like an old raccoon bin. And he's got the windows just rolled up tight. Dropped me off in the worst part of town. The mechanic shop looks like it's half underground. And I swear to God, there's cooking meth out back. Whoa, whoa, baby, give me some good news. I got the broke down LA freeway blues. Please, somebody give me a ride home. Well, some hip-hop listener said, "Hey there, dude, I just noticed you're wearing some Nike shoes. Would you like to come down to a cool place while they're fixing your truck?" Walked down the street and stepped into a bar. The DJ was pumping out stuff from some hip-hop star. But the air conditioner worked. No, the drinks were. It was just pretty darn good. Lots of things were looking up in the neighborhood, but I just realized this is a gay hip-hop club. And I'm a little bit pale and about half their size. Whoa, whoa, baby, give me some good news. I got the broke down LA freeway blues. Please, somebody give me a ride home. Well, the sad thing for hospitality as I stepped outside, and there by the door, to my surprise, was a pretty lady with a Tesla saying, "Hey, cowboy, you wanna ride?" Says I drove up when I saw your hat, but I remembered those Nikes, so I came back. I I knew where you was, 'cause that tow truck driver's my dad. Whoa, baby, give me some good news. I got the broke down LA freeway blues. Please, somebody get me a ride home. Said no thanks, pretty lady, to walk back to the club. I'd much rather be here with you guys than a son-in-law to that smelly Russian scrub. They all burst into laughter and said, don't worry, cowboy. When he gets off work, he's gonna be in there looking for you. Kinda felt a cold chill building inside. Whoa, baby, give me some good news. I got the broke down LA freeway blues. Please, somebody give me a ride home. Here comes the Texas part.
Oh, I thought we did that.
No, repeat. Never been to Texas, pretty sure I don't want to go. Maybe I'll just head on out to New Mexico, where I can hide out from the Russian mob. Grab my keys and fired her up. I'm headed east, but I look in the back of my truck. Looks like about 60 kilos of bass stacked up real nice. Whoa, baby, give me some good news. I just broke down LA freeway blues. Please, somebody give me a ride home. Yeah, 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 yeah. Whoa, baby, give me some good news. I got the broke down LA freeway blues. Please, somebody give me a ride home.
Yeah. What? You thought that wouldn't hurt my feelings?
That's cool. Well, it could, yeah. It's not my fault. It was a great entity in the sky that did that. It's all in one big dump.
So that true story.
Well, no.
The Texas part, yeah.
Yeah, the Texas part, yeah.
Yeah,
No, I've actually been to Texas, so I did break down on the freeway. That's the only part that was true.
That's a great story.
I have no idea where that came from either.
Wow, nice. Wow.
Yeah. Just be glad.
Little movie there.
Guys,
Yeah.
I got
The
one
movie.
last
Yeah,
one.
it was kind of like Clarence
All right.
took over my.
Yeah, there we go.
It's a parody.
All you good Americans, the loyal, brave, and true, we'll trap ourselves completely in the old red, white, and blue. For Jesus and free enterprise, we must prepare the way.
Anyone who does not pay must be
Prepare to pay. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Don't heed those words of wickedness that might lead you astray. See, hear, and speak no evil. Just work real hard and pray. God loves you and He hopes you'll have a nice day.
Oh, that was the song. Thank you.
Mark, yeah.
Mark Graham, yeah. Oh, that's what I was just thinking.
That one?
Let me pull up the lyrics.
Okay, I have a fish song. It's not a song, it's a poem because we had another poet here. So this was written by a fellow named Slug Thing.
He was not on the
It was amazing. I saw him do this one time. He jumped up on a table and we were in a big cafeteria and he jumped up on the table. I'm a wild salmon, baby. First team love at sea. Then I get my drastic urge for a final libido purge and clear the pool out the street. A wild spawner baby with a mind to reproduce, so I hit up real easy. Give you my blood juice. Where are the wild ass fish? Strong, virile, and free, who follow their flopping bliss from the deeper time sea. Beware the hatchery drones, silicone inferior clones, nerdy guys, plastic babes from the comfort zone. A spawner's out of luck from this yuppie guppy fox. TikTok goes the planet's clock, heralding the shit tide flock. TikTok goes the planet's flock, swim fast or sink like a rock. There's cow, crab, a Duncan, dioxin breeze pours in, a water's warm and funky. Now the Mondo dams begin. Terminator turbines want to make sushi out of me. But the rat's maze fish ladder ain't no exit I can see. TikTok goes the planet's clock, heralding the shit tide flock. TikTok goes the planet's flock clock. Swim fast or sink like a rock. I'm a wild spanner, baby. I'm a spawner, but I think I'm gonna die. Purple haze is getting hazy and the fish fry in the sky. Where are the wild ass fish, strong, virile, and free, who follow their flopping bliss from the deep riptide sea? I can't do it. You could have seen him do it though. I was just a shadow of what he did.
Oh, he must have been really good, because that was great.
He knew it. I had to
Yeah. And he could jump from the table.
He could. I can't do it.
I've got a warrior poem we do. I don't write any of my own poetry, really, but just like I like to preserve the music, there are some poets I like to preserve as well. I was going to do this one by John Trudell, but it's so freaking heavy compared to all these songs. So I'm going to do a poem by Dwight Worker, who sank whaling ships. And often I do this he's got 3 poems. One actually is an instruction manual on how to sink a whaling ship, turned into a poem. And who knows if I'll do even the second or the third, but I'm going to do the first one, which I think applies to all of us. It's called Going In for the Kill. You have watched the logging site through lenses. My lenses suck. While hiding in man-made brush piles and trash. You have crept as close to them as you dare, lying frozen for hours as they cut and slash. You've counted their workers and their guards. You've watched for dogs and guns. Or you have spied on them with a scope from a ridge above a harbor during the slaughter. You recorded their comings and goings, for you are looking for that moment. Someplace, somehow, there must be a way. You watch them both like a cat and a snake, at once so alert with nerves ablaze, ready to pounce on them in an instant, and again so slow and patient, like the rocks that you are now hiding in. Maybe you will feed next year instead. You are looking for perfect timing and information, for if you knew everything, you would succeed every time. To know when the site will be empty, when the watchman and the dog will be gone, when their warning systems will be off, and you would know when all of your circuits are on. But you will never know for sure until you do it. And you'll never get a second chance. You've done all of your homework and surveillance, and now all that's left is you and your dance. Yet you will check your equipment there 3 more times. Wrenches, hammer and bolt cutters, pry bar, cutting torch, and persuaders. You review your list till you know them by heart. As the minutes count down slower and slower, you know that the waiting is the hardest part. Your fear has a life all of its own. It comes over you and takes its toll. Fears of randomness and of all the unknowns. fears of everything you cannot control. Did you say goodbye to mom? Or your child? This isn't kid stuff, you know. You could get killed. There will be some chaos in any action. It's a problem of synchronization. Now even the blacks and the whites appear hazy. Now you begin to believe that you are truly, truly crazy. And finally at last, it is time to begin. Everything else in the world is illusion now. As you go through the fence, past the watchman, past the check booth, it is now your moment of personal truth, for now all that is left is cold, steely will. For now it is time to go in for the kill. All that is left is cold, steely will. It is time to go in for the kill. Yeah.
Okay. Here's a song that I wrote with, actually commissioned by Rio Grande Valley land groups, National Audubon, and others. And as they, this was in the 90s, we were late, actually 80s too, working on developing a wildlife corridor for the large mammals along the border. So I wound up over a few years singing this in a bunch of schools and nature centers, the Gladys Porter Zoo, and conferences and such. And one little tour, the teacher that put it together said, the kids are ready we'll be going with you, and they know the song. And I said, what part? I said, the whole thing. I said, I don't even do that. And they did. There's not a lot of awesome lights along the Rio Grande. It's even harder to spot the wily jaguar. What remains of their domain used to fill the shore. It's now a string of pearls it forms, a wildlife corridor. Rio Grande Valley, slipping out of view, caught between two cultures that would tear the heart from you. Rio Grande Valley, almost totally tame. Are we wise enough to say the wildness that remains? A river of diversity, the Rio Grande begins. Up in Colorado, carving canyons in Big Bend, through Chihuahua and Texas deserts, road runners and thorns, and at the Gulf subtropic forest, groves of sable palm. Rio de las Palmas became the Spanish name. Casa de las Palomas, where the wide-winged nests are made. The native vegetation shelters orioles and owls, and squawking chachalacas, migrating waterfowl. Rio Grande Valley, a wild transition zone. Nations make their boundaries, Mother Nature makes crossroads. Rio Grande Valley, Resaca's, the prairie still sings her songs. In a thorny sliver along the river, riparian life hangs on. Rio Grande Valley, it's time to call a truce. Wilderness can coexist with vegetables and fruit. Rio Grande Valley, send the world to wealth. Don't forsake the soil that is the soul of life itself. There's not a lot of us along the Rio Grande. It's even harder to spot the wild Jacaranda. And what remains of their domain used to fill the shore. It's now a string of pearls we call the wildlife corridor. Only wise enough to save the wildlife corridor. So those kids would sing the whole damn thing. Every word.
I played it, but I played as good as you, damn it.
I'd screw up one word and they all stare at me. Well, look at me. I said, look, I'm going to, and I asked them, look, I'm going to, don't do that. They did it every time.
So that's a shorter version of a longer
That's a
piece?
risotto.
Risotto is like a oxbow or something.
Okay,
cut off,
okay.
I think.
I looked it up and I couldn't find it. So I said, next time I'm talking to the captain.
It's part of the river that was cut off and it's just a
Yeah,
small part.
yeah, that happens. Well, the Cow Swim is an abandoned oxbow that we've been in Cow Swim Rapid on the Colorado.
Word for it.
So it's on,
Have I been there?
it's Cataract. It's on Cataract.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's about a 12-acre flat area with high cliffs and stuff around it that the river used to run through there, and then one high water event just blew all this land out,
I see.
and that is now an abandoned, what's called an abandoned oxbow. But it's beautiful. It's a really cool hike.
They're nice, quiet wetlands with a lot of vegetation.
It's called Cow Swim Rapids.
Cow Swim Rapids.
Because the ranchers...
Let's rename that.
The ranchers, that's how they got across the river.
Reclaim.
Let's get the ranchers out of
Yeah,
there.
get them out.
We'll call it Beaver Crossing.
I'd like to say that I have enjoyed other large national groups, but usually a few individuals there were responsible for that. But it was coming to the Earth First where the music was important and strong and encouraging more and more of it. So that was rare elsewhere. And that was part of the excitement for me for Earth First. Just had more fun, more music, and the other groups are just, full of themselves a little bit. And we're full of ourselves too. Full of beer.
We are.
I always
I
appreciate
music
it.
more than they did.
And that came from the leadership, from the top down. Phil and Nancy were always right there encouraging that, keeping that going.
Oh, it's so cool to learn that. Thank you. The Risaka. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is a song that we sang at the Celebration of Life last year. It goes to the tune of Amazing Grace.
Oh, cool.
Amazing Wilderness. Great.
Yeah. Usually do it a cappella, so I guess anyway.
We got the
I can't get
master.
Can we play along?
No.
Probably no.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, don't you? Oh, I don't.
We'll give it a shot.
All right.
Oh, wilderness, how sweet the sound. So wild, so clear, so free. My spirit soars on sacred ground. This is where I need to be. The mountains high, the desert fine, this land of sky and stone. I've never lost my freedom here. I've always found my home. Stay strong, sing sweet, and hold your ground. As long as you can stand, just look around. You're not alone. When we save our wild, wild land, walk in the woods. Did you ever hear that speech Dave gave at the 50th anniversary of the Wilderness Act? Well, he talked about chickadees. It was amazing because I was used to every road show I ever did with Dave. He had a rip fire breathing, rip snorting, or rock'em sock'em, you know, incredible preaching
Yeah, he was a
speech.
stump preacher, man.
This one he's talking about when he goes out in the desert or out in the wilderness, he comes and says, Hi, little wildflower. How are you today? You're up here looking pretty and feeling good. And then he started talking about the chickadees, and I'm just sitting there going, wow, this is Dave's on to something. And so when Julie and I walk in the woods in the Yukon or in Alaska, and we know there are going to be the big guys in brown furry suits around, as in the grizzly bears, you're always supposed to make noise on the trail, and we'll go, chickadee, dee, dee, dee. That's the 10,000-pound chickadee. And so this is what this line, this is why the chickadee is in here. Just walk in the woods, you know I'm here. When a chickadee lands near, the loon wails deep into the night. A call so bright and clear. The sunset glows to guide the night. The sunrise brings the day. You will hear me when coyotes sing. I won't be far away. You will hear me when coyotes sing. I won't be far away. As Ed Abbey said, wilderness, the word itself is music.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Cool. Very good.
That's great, Bart.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was awesome.
Oh, we can start singing Irene Goodnight.
That was my next song.
I think that was it.
That was my next song.
Thanks for closing us down, Bart.
Thanks, Bart.
You're a good man.
We try. We do what we can, you know. That's what Yul Brynner said in The Return of the Magnificent Seven. When they had the village, the elder for the little Mexican tribe, they had survived another attack from the, El Guapo or whatever. And they said, how can we keep doing this? I said, we do what we can. So,
That's great.
thank you all.
Yes. Oh my God.
Sleep well.